recording this one early because I got stuff to do today. Today I'm just posing a question. IO and Mercury are still MIA. And nobody's talking about it. We already got rid of the witness. But do we know how to get those plants back? Because we don't know how they moved these plants in the first place. Not truly. We don't understand that process. We saw in Nezarek's raid the explicator of worlds that they were moving stuff around, but were we really moving stuff around in real space, or was that just a raid mechanic? Like how much did that actually affect the world around us, the universe around us? Because we know that in Witch Queen, Savathun says soon the power to move worlds would be yours. That whole insight stuff. She says the power of the witness, but we killed the witness. It goes back to my earlier statement where it's like, were we actually doing anything inside the pyramid during Explicator of Worlds? We would move stuff around, but like, were these just like a diorama, or was it actually moving objects in real space? Because if it was moving objects in real space, then that means we could probably already have that power. But assuming it is not reliant on the pyramids and completely reliant on an amount of knowledge from the witness, like, we might have lost it. Because it kind of does feel like we kind of missed the chance to do that. It does feel like that in the story. Unless that's like what Echoes is all about. Unless some random disciple we didn't know about is able to do this. Or maybe even the Winnower, because we all know he's coming in the story now. He's most likely able to do everything the witness can, and probably more, because that's basically fighting like the universe itself, the Winnower. Well, not really the co-creator of the universe, like half the universe. That's like the equal amount of fighting half the universe, which is still a lot. It's likely that the Echoes could be a key, since they are like a crystallization of the witness's memories, as well as the clashing of dark powers with the light. Maybe those crystallized fragments could show the way. On the other hand, narratively, it feels like these plants might have been forgotten. I just actually wouldn't be surprised if everything I say in this video is just not ever gonna happen. It's kind of got that feeling, unless their plan is to save all this for Destiny 3. Since it is such a major power set. Because like, if our Guardian gets to move planets, like, come on, that's like super OP. Like, I don't see how we're gonna be able to go any higher than that. Because other than that, it seems super important, and I don't know how much control over these things Ziva or Wrath could have. But at current, she's like the biggest threat of darkness, in quotations, that's left in the universe. We know that Oryx spoke with the darkness, so who knows, maybe Zivu can do that. Maybe she will do that. I don't know if she's ever done that in the lore. You can correct me if she has. But it feels like we're gonna be moving on from these things. Like, I guess the Echoes would only affect things that are in real space, because they were released into our universe, not any other place that the witness might have pulled our worlds to. IO and Mercury are probably far away from anything that could be affected by it, because we know the Dreadnought's coming back. The Dreadnought is Oryx's throne world, kind of how Oryx was able to summon Zivu back through an act of war, and he was able to summon Savathun back with an act of deception. Is it far-fetched to say that maybe if the Hive are exploring something of this magnitude, like the Echoes of something with this amount of knowledge, could it be some kind of tribute that is enough to get to Oryx? You know what I mean? Because, like, I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, ever since they brought Zevo into the picture and they spoke about all this stuff about, like, oh yeah, my brother's dead. And they keep on teasing, like, a possible return to Oryx. They brought back King's Fall with the new lore tabs and stuff. And then they brought back Titan. And we got the Season of the Deep dungeon, which he's just in, you know? He's just in there and he's, you know, not rotting, but he's growing. That's crazy. There's a lore tab where it says that he's, like, getting bigger. I've been thinking about, like, how could you summon back Oryx? Could this be something that could happen if... Because as we know, those echoes contain knowledge and memories from the Witness. And Oryx was basically like the god of navigation or something. I don't know. So would something like the Echo be enough to conjure him back like that? I think it could be possible, but it is kind of a stretch to say that could happen. But getting back on the topic, we're still missing 2 whole planets. That's still crazy. Because what's going on? How messed up are those planets that the Witness only ever gave back Mars and Titan? It's up to debate who gave the planet back with Mars. Because Savathun is like, I brought back Mars, but also, you know, did she? I'm not sure on that. It's still super debatable on that, whether she can actually move planets or not. She might be able to, because she was scheming to take the Traveler. And, you know, it's not planet size, it's far from being moon size. But that is still a paracausal force. And I assume the Traveler won't be moved unless it wants to be moved. You know, like the pyramids. Like, we know that the Witness was, you know, basically pulling these worlds apart, like, you know, stretching them and stuff to look for something, to look for answers. We know the Witness pulled these worlds apart looking for the Veil and objects of interest. And we know that IO is like brimming with light, hence the attraction the Taken already have towards it. It's like IO is like pretty significant. We got the Pyramidion, we have one of the cradles of the Traveler. But what about Mercury and the Vex there? Is the Infinite Forest even still there after all this? It's definitely interesting that both planets that are still missing contain stations that are important to the Vex. We know that life isn't paused on these worlds when they were taken, because Sloane lived that time there with Asa. So we know that Brother Vance is probably not doing okay right now at all. He's probably doing worse than Sloane is. It's just interesting to me that both planets that are missing are both contain important Vex stations. Like, who has them? Does some random disciple have them? We know the Witness doesn't have them anymore because the Witness is... Could we ever see these planets come back? Like, or is this just a Dreaming City situation? For gameplay reasons, it's not gonna happen. Because IO is narratively important for so many reasons. The attraction of the Taken, because beneath the surface there's a ton of light under it, you know? The Tree of Silver Wings, the Cabal facilities, the Pyramidion, and the Cradle of IO. So it's like there's a lot of points of interest. And Mercury has the Infinite Forest, the Sundial, and the Corridors of Time. We know that the Witness was looking for something on Titan and Mars, which is why it all got pulled back, because they like threw them out and they were done with it. You know, they don't care anymore. Are Mercury and IO just permanently gone, or are they so important? So are Mercury and IO so important to the Witness that they remain missing? We know the Witness is dead. So could there be a disciple watching over him? Could the Winnower itself be the one that has him in holding? We don't exactly know what the Winnower truly wants. He seems to be very entertained by our own existence and how we've battled for so long. The festering civilizations of the universe that gather for war. So I don't know. He seems super entertained by the things we do. I don't think he cares if we have IO and Mercury. So is this related to a new subclass we could be getting? Because Final Shape has a lot of talk about possible subclasses we could get in the future. There's mention of the nightmare powers from Nezarec that we could eventually control and use. That'd be crazy. Dragging the EDZ and it's like, you're gonna have a nightmare today. Like, you know, just send a phantom at him and traumatize him for life. That's insane. But there's also the power of resonance. Resonance feels like it's more likely to be the one to come because there are so many enemies we see that are using it. Because we see the Dread using it, the Shadow Legion, they have those pyramid shield things. So it's like there's more hope for that kind of stuff. But the nightmare power is something that is talked about in Final Shape. So who knows? We're probably gonna get that. But that's a whole other topic basically. I bring this up even though it's off topic because they could be the answer in moving those planets back. But it could be involved with Frontiers, you know, Destiny Frontiers. These two planets could be part of the... Because when they say Frontiers, they could be meaning a lot of things. We know Drifter talks about the Frontier, things he's seen, Light Suppressing Beast, sounds like the Dread, you know, Tormentors, things that killed his crew. We could be looking for the power to move worlds. Maybe that's what's taking us to the Frontier. Looking for the power to move worlds to get Mercury and IO back. And maybe even prevent this from happening again. The idea of Frontiers could also just be like the space where Mara explored, because Mara has gone outside of the solar system in recent history and destroyed a pyramid ship. So there could be something over there, out in the beyond. So the disappearance of IO and Mercury could still be related to the idea of Destiny Frontiers then. Could these two planets be part of the frontiers we could be exploring? What's even gonna happen with those planets anyway? But in the end, this video is pure speculation. But it is very true that the disappearance of these planets and possible return are very much narratively important and hold stakes in the Destiny universe. You can share your ideas in the comments. And before we go, I gotta say thanks to people who just subscribed to the channel. I didn't expect anyone to actually watch these Destiny videos. I very much appreciate it. I'm not monetized, so I'm doing this purely out of the love for the lore of Destiny. I'm a 3D artist by trade, so Destiny was the last thing I expected to get attention from. You guys have officially watched my Destiny videos more than people have played my game. So, you've officially helped surpass my previous biggest project. So, I thank you guys for that. And see you in the next one.